Good evening, Father Samiski, alumni, faculty, administration, and esteemed guests. My name is Savyon Shaw, and I'm a senior here at Prep. I was born to Jamaican immigrant parents and spent most of my childhood in Bridgeport. Ever since I was little, my parents have valued Catholic education, and the very first school I went to was Mary Magdalene Preschool in Bridgeport. After that, I attended St. Teresa School in Trumbull, where I excelled academically and athletically. I was on the varsity basketball team there, and I was always on the honor roll. But in 2008, when I was in the first grade, the real estate crash occurred, and my father's business was severely affected, which caused my parents to split up. So I stayed with my mom, and my father went back to New York to continue his business. As a result, my mother and I had to move in with my grandparents. My father was not there for a majority of my childhood, but I was always surrounded by love. I was the first grandchild to my grandparents, so I was spoiled. Anytime my mom needed help raising me, my uncle and grandfather stepped up and did an amazing job. Both of those men helped shape the young man I am today. My mother, grandfather, and uncle taught me how to face life challenges and to turn these challenges into opportunities for growth. One of the very first challenges I faced early in life was handling my father not being there. My mom always struggled to find someone to take me to my basketball games or any events I had to attend. Thankfully, I had my grandparents and my uncle there to support me. They are here tonight as well. Luckily, I became friends with someone who lived right across the street from my school. So after school, I would go to my friend's house and stay there until my mom got off work at 7 o'clock. I practically spent every day at his house, and this enabled me to become very independent at a young age. So, even though my father's absence was challenging, I managed to turn this situation into an opportunity. Another challenge I faced early on in life occurred on September 19th of 2014, and that day changed my life forever. My mom and I were in a car accident and hit a tree. I got out of the car and ran to hug my mom. She was crying and said, "Savyon, what happened to your right eye?" I began to cry because I thought at that moment that I lost my right eye. It turns out that the impact from the airbag hit my eye so hard that it broke my glasses and severely bruised my eye. If I were not wearing a seatbelt, then I would have gone through the glass and I most likely would not be standing here today. Shortly thereafter, I had cataract surgery, and my mom, grandfather, and uncle never left my side. Sadly, for right now, my right eye is still a little deformed and has a different shape than my left eye. Nonetheless, I turned the pain and tragedy of this accident to help me heal physically, emotionally, and spiritually. This accident taught me to never take life for granted, to thank God for every moment of my life, and to express gratitude to those who love me unconditionally. Now that I drive, I say a prayer before I start driving, and I say a prayer when I reach my destination. When it came time to choose a high school, I refused to let my physical issue pose limits for me. My options for high school were Fairfield Prep, St. Joe's in Trumbull, and Notre Dame of Fairfield. I scheduled a shadow day for all three schools, but none of them compared to my shadow day experience at Prep. I was blown away by Prep's teachers, students, and the facilities. This teacher-student relationship I witnessed was amazing. That was when I knew that I had to come to Prep. I hit the ground running in my freshman year. I joined the football team, the track team, debate club, the African American Culture Club, and the stock market club. Prep has given me opportunities that no other high school could. Before I was officially a freshman, I went to summer classes here. During the summer before my freshman year, I learned how to make an Excel spreadsheet and use everything on the iPad. As a result of my grades in middle school, I qualified to take geometry and biology my freshman year. Now, as a senior, I'm enrolled in calculus, which most students take their freshman year of college. Taking these classes really gave me an academic advantage and a head start. Another class I valued was my speech and theater class taught by Mrs. Hoover. Initially, I did not want to take that class because I have a stutter, but my mom made me take it. I am glad I took it because it forced me to get out of my comfort zone and has greatly enhanced my speaking skills and my confidence level. Mrs. Hoover taught me how to write, prepare, and deliver numerous types of speeches. Clearly, I'm using what I learned from that class right now. Another opportunity I was afforded when I came to prep was the camaraderie and the brotherhood. My peers welcomed me with open arms. I'm confident that the friends I have now will be friends I will have for life. The upperclassmen were like big brothers to me and guided me throughout my years at prep. I closely observed what they did, and now, as a senior, I try to model these same behaviors for the underclassmen. I always check up on them and try my best to guide them. Now, I have friends from all races, religions, and socioeconomic backgrounds. The Prep Brotherhood has enabled me to grow spiritually as well. As a junior last year, I participated in Kairos 67, which strengthened my faith and taught me how to reflect and to be thankful. There is a lot that I take for granted, and the reflection practices, such as the examine that I learned on Kairos, allows me to be humble and introspective. Because of prep, I also experienced brotherhood beyond the US borders. I had the opportunity to go to Europe and participate in the German exchange program. Joining this program changed my world forever. Because as a young man growing up in the USA, I feel as though I'm in a bubble and never hear about the problems outside of the US. But when I was in Germany, I made a lifelong friend named Moritz Schollhammer. His family welcomed me and treated me as one of their own. My friendship with Moritz has taught me that people are the same all over the world. As I stand here before you tonight, I am the example of what a Fairfield Prep student should be by the time he becomes a senior. Because Jesuit education concerns itself with the development of the whole person, or cura personalis, I'm striving to become the best version of myself. My family has always been there to push me emotionally and to help me push my limits. But as a student, Fairfield Prep has challenged me to be the best that I could possibly be from the very first moment I walked up the steps to Berkman's Hall and shook Father Smiski's hand freshman year. If it were not for your generosity, my family would have never been able to send me to prep. Your largesse provides the financial aid that makes it possible for me to be here. Now that I'm a senior, the next chapter in my life is college. As a result of my Jesuit education at Fairfield Prep, I have the privilege and opportunity to apply to some of the best colleges that the United States has to offer, such as Fordham, Boston College, and the University of Pennsylvania. All this is possible because of you, the generous benefactors seated here today. On behalf of myself and countless others who could not afford a prep education, I would like to thank you for caring and all that you do for Fairfield Prep. Thank you.